How do you measure brand equity? We have this tool called the brand scorecard. It is in your binders as well. If you don't measure it, you can't manage it. Why do you manage to hit your profit targets every year? Because, well, all wants to see the profit numbers every week. By country, by retailer, by salesman, and you know what? What gets measured gets managed. You get it. If you don't manage it, if you don't measure it, you'll be in month 11 and someone will be saying, hey, so where are we doing in terms of targets? Oh, we don't know. We're doing all right. I'm sure we're doing all right. Can you imagine that discussion happening around your table? Can you imagine that? It would never happen. It would never happen in most companies. Top line, bottom line, and sometimes market share. But top line and bottom line, sacrosanct. In fact, if I had to pick one, I'd say bottom line. In the scorecard, we try and put 3 sets of measures on one page. The first set, brand performance. Now this covers many areas. It covers brand equity parameters, it covers awareness, trial, how you're rated on various things that the consumer finds relevant and important. Okay, now this, in the old days, it used to be very difficult to get this data. Now, not so much. You have syndicated research. It costs you literally a few $1,000s every couple of months to understand how your brand is doing in the market. And I would seriously encourage, if you guys are not doing this, you should invest in this. Because you can't drive your brand if you don't know what it is that you're driving. The second part, the financial performance. This is a piece of cake because you have financial data coming out of your yin-yang. Right? You know everything about gross margin, volume, how many cases, TP percentages. I'm sure if I asked the sales guys here, what is your TP percentage? You could reel it off the top of your head without even thinking. In fact, if I woke you up at 3 in the morning and I said, what's your TP with Carrefour? And you're like, 24%. I wouldn't have to do anything else. That would be the answer to the question, right? Consumer promotion. I'm sure the marketers could do exactly the same thing. I know exactly what I spent on Energizer last year as a percentage of my sales. Thank you very much. In volume and value. Great. It's all there. Now, the third part of it is your competitive performance. And I'm sure you have this data as well. So it is an extremely, extremely challenging situation. Now, the purpose of this scorecard is for you to start making linkages between your brand's performance and your financial performance. So if you find that on one particular equity measure, which is, let's say, lasts longer, right? For want of a better equity measure, you find that your scores are going down slightly because Duracell has been hammering away at that particular message point for the last 6 months. Your scores have dropped from, let's say, 52% people who believed you on that statement down to 42% in the span of a year. And your shipments have slowed down at the same time. I think there's a fairly good chance that they are correlated. And you can do very quick research to establish whether that is true or not. It costs you next to nothing. You find out that that is indeed the reason that things are declining. You can fix it very quickly with targeted messaging. Now, let's say it's the other way around. Let's say that your distribution has dropped for whatever reason. A distributor in a particular market is having a hard time recovering funds from the market, not able to get money back, therefore they have withdrawn their presence from the market. They have reduced their presence in the market. It will start reflecting in your brand equity parameter very quickly. Because people will, the brand for me, right? This is one of the typical brand parameters we use. This is the brand for me. All of a sudden, the brand for me ratings start going down. Why is it going down? What has changed? Is there some dynamic that has happened that you're not aware of? So this helps you to start making those connectivities, because if you look at financial performance in isolation, you're just measuring what? Effects. What you need to do is to be able to see the causes and connect them to the effects. And once you get good at this, man oh man, the discussions you will have around the table in your company will be so much richer. I mean, as Paul said, they will be consumer-based. They will not be based on I think, I believe, I feel. It will be the consumer says, the consumer thinks, the consumer is playing back to us. Right? It's a whole different nature of discussion then. Everyone's good with this? Excellent.